Raja Pradana, in which the element of rajas or passion predominates. Mahataha, from the Mahat Tattva, three lingaha, of the three kinds. Daiva Chodita, impelled by superior authority. Jataha, was born. Sasarja, evolved. Bhut Adihi, the false ego, origin of material element. Biyat, the ether. Adini, beginning with. Panchashaha, in group of five. As impelled by the destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, evolved from Mahatattva, in which the elements of rajas predominates. From the ego in turn evolved many groups of five principles. As impelled by the destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, evolved from the Mahatattva, in which the elements of rajas predominates. From ego in turn evolved many groups of five principles. So nobody wants to chant today? Yeah, Viraja is ready.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. The primordial matter or Prakriti, material nature, consisting of three modes, generates four groups of five. The first group is called elementary and consists of earth, water, fire, air and ether. The second group of five is called Tanmatra, referring to the subtle elements, sense objects, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. The third group is the five sense organs for acquiring knowledge, ears, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. The fourth group is the five working senses, speech, hands, feet, anus and genitals. Some say that there are five groups of five. One group is the sense objects, one is the five elements, one is the five sense organs for acquiring knowledge, another is the senses for working, and the fifth group is the five deities who control these divisions. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shundavadi Pashad Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Raja Pradana Mahataha Trilingo Daiva Chodita Jata Sasarja Bhutatihi Vyat adini panchashaha. As impelled by the destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, evolved from the Mahatattva, in which the elements are just predominant. From ego, in turn, evolved many groups of five principles. Hare Krishna. So interesting discussion about ego. We see that every moment we are being watched. It's a very important principle we have to understand. Every moment, what we are speaking, what we are doing is being watched. It's like, imagine there is a festival and thousands of people are looking at you and you are on stage. And what you are doing is also projected on a huge screen. It's all going live telecast. Millions of people are watching. Won't you be even frightened? But people are looking at me, isn't it? Will you be frightened? No, because if I do one mistake, 1,000 people will think, what? Bhagavad Gita says, if you understand this much, that Krishna is present in everything around you. He is present in every atom of the air around you. He is watching you. He is present within your heart. He is present all around you. That's the perfection of thinking, feeling, and willing. Every moment, Krishna is conscious of everything. And we are being watched. And this watching is not just inert watching. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Upadrishta Anumanta, is overseeing everything that you are doing, and he is the final sanctioning authority. In this life, we are in a different field of experience at every moment. Either in the day or in the night, we are in a field of experience. Some situation is thrown in front of us. We have no control over that. Suddenly, snake will bite. One situation has been thrown. So at that moment, later we have to introspect. What did I think at that moment? Did I completely surrender to Krishna? Anna? What was I thinking at that moment? Padam padam yat vipadam natesha. The situation can be very, very dangerous. This middle word, Prabhupada says, is all bad. There's nothing good situation in this world. Dvaita bhadra bhadra sakali shaman. Hey bhadra, hey, this world is all bhadra bhadra, hey bhadra, hey bhadra. All this is manodharma. It's all within your mind. This is good situation, this is bad situation. It's all bad. There's nothing good in this world. So as we are roaming around this universe, there is a very beautiful story in Bhagavatam of Puranjana. Puranjana is roaming in this whole universe looking for enjoyment and is not satisfied. So we are also roaming, and in this field of enjoyment, we get various kind of experiences. And then the Anumanta also sanctions. First thing is the next life is very far away, isn't it? But based on, it's like you work in a job, your boss has to give a recommendation. If you put some red line, that's all over. It's left to the boss whether to promote you or not. Many companies work like that. They will ask the report. It is not possible for the CEO of the company to individually monitor anybody. It will ask the boss, how is it? How is it doing well? And if he puts a red line, everything is gone. So similarly, what we do in the next life depends on the Lord. He's watching very carefully. And our destination in the next life depends on kind of activities we are doing in this life, the kind of desires we are cultivating throughout the life. At the moment of death, suddenly we cannot think of anything. It's an accumulation of the desires you cultivated at that moment and the kind of activities you've done in this life that is going to determine your next life. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever the kind of desires you have accumulated within your heart, you have a desire to be a great engineer, but your karma whole life has been very bad, you'll become a caterpillar. Your desires are very good. You may go to heaven. Activities are also pious. And you have a sincere, very sincere desire to serve Krishna. And whole life you have been trying to serve Krishna. You will go back to the spiritual world. So report card is being made. College में बच्चे लोग घर में report card लेके आते हैं, है ना? And the parents say, बेटा नाक काट दी. I am now you have given such a report card, I can show my face anywhere. So a report card is made based on the kind of activities you do. So please be very conscious. We are being watched and a full detail. Somebody was asking, why is it that there is Chitragupta writing everything? This question comes. Why is he spending so much time? एक चीज लिखता है, कुछ काम नहीं किया उसको. He has no other work. Why is he after me? In the material life, suppose you today get involved, even in children's life beyond a certain limit, they say, please leave me alone. Don't be so much after. I want freedom. So it's not like that. Krishna can't leave you. Chitragupta will keep writing, you like or not. And the whole record is considered, because generally those who are not devotees, that's the only criteria. The whole record is considered, and then we are given a particular position, auspicious or inauspicious. We are given a particular position based on the record. So it left to us, therefore, what do we develop? Whole life is therefore a preparation. Sometimes in college, the students forget that actually they are 4 years later, the college will finish. And then based on the marks they have, they will get a job or a promotion to higher studies. Many times students forget. So similarly, we also forget we are in this body for a short time. Just like in a college, some students behave as if they will stay in the college for whole life. They're not conscious that 4 years later the college will get over. And then they have to think where they want to go. In the same way, we should be conscious. This is for a short time. I am there in this body, and my every activity is being watched. I'm not going to stay in this body forever. This is on a rent. I have taken this body from Krishna. Nowadays, just like every city, we take car on rent nowadays. Very popular. Many apps are there. Many companies are there. You land up in a city. From the airport itself, you can drive. They'll give you a car. You have to pay some daily rent. Quite popular now. It's quite reasonable also. So you get a vehicle for rent. And then you have to give back the vehicle one day, or you'll keep the vehicle for all the time. You have to give back. No, it's not your vehicle. You have to use, pay the rent, and then give back the vehicle. So similarly, you cannot stay in this body forever. You have taken it on rent. It is not your body. It is not your body. You have taken this body on rent. Now it is very popular, the service. Every city you go, for the day, you can hire a car. Rent. At the end of the day, you have to give back the vehicle, no? Or you keep the vehicle. So we are so much possessive of the vehicle, so much how this vehicle is looking like this. This is not your vehicle. You have taken it on rent. And not only that, it's being watched. Every moment, whatever you do is being watched. And based on that, next life, you will have different vehicle available to you for rent. You can hire it next life. But based on how you behaved in this. Suppose you did many accidents. I'm just stretching the symbolism. You spoiled the whole gearbox, clutch box, burnt everything. Then what they'll give you next life? They'll give you a cycle. They'll not give you a car for rent. You go to the company, please give me one more vehicle for rent. They will look at the condition. Clutch is burned, gearbox is spoiled. 3 dents, left, right, center. What they'll do? He doesn't know how to drive. Better give him a cycle. It will be happy. And still worse, no vehicle, like ghost, roam on the road. They'll not give you any vehicle for rent. So those people are very, very sinful. They don't get any vehicle. They have to walk on the road like ghost. But sometimes, still worse, you made many dents, you get cycle. But you're very, very careful with the vehicle. You kept the vehicle very clean, neat, well washed, and everything is in proper order. Everything you did very nicely. Then they will give Mercedes. You can go to Devaloka. But in case even still better, you get spiritual vehicle, spiritual body. Go back to the spiritual world, eternal, live in the eternal kingdom of God. So we are being watched. This is a principle. Please drive home. Every moment we are being watched, and the very reason is why Krishna is watching. He doesn't have any other work, sitting in the heart and watching, making Chitragupta to take notes every time, because of he is the Supreme Father. Mamay Amshaha. Mamay Amsha means we are part and parcel of Krishna. Just like a mother. Ask any mother to forget the child. She said it's not possible. Why? Child may forget the mother, but the mother cannot forget the child. Why? What is the reason? Because she feels the child is part of her body. That consciousness is there. Similarly, the same feeling we can understand Krishna has. Mamay Amsha. Mamay Amsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Eternally, it's a fact. You cannot change this fact. Now, in the material world, mother and child relationship is not eternal, because next life you are in another body. And it's a relation on a bodily platform. We are not the bodies. Mother feels he is part of my body, but what is part of the body? That body is not he. He is the soul. But Krishna is on fact. Krishna is talking about the soul, and eternally you are part and parcel of Krishna. Mother cannot say Sanatana. Mother can say Mamay Amusha. She can say he is my part of my body. Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta, but not Sanatana. She cannot say Sanatana. It's only temporary situation. Then we don't know which body my child goes. Manashashtani Indriyani. Krishna is saying, even though it is true, he is part of my body, and he's there in the material world, but he's struggling. Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Karshati means struggling very hard. Krishna is watching. And he's not happy. Sometimes at home you have a very nice dish and you're all enjoying, and you miss, I wish my child was there. You'd have also enjoyed. You feel like that? I wish he was here today. Like you are in the temple, you wish, I wish my children were here today. They would have also enjoyed such an ecstatic kirtan. They would have also maybe got interested in spiritual. I wish you were there. Whenever we enjoy, we miss the people who are not there at the moment. I wish he was there. I wish you would have recorded the kirtan. We feel like that. We feel or not? I wish. So similarly, Krishna also is enjoying with his devotees, but he said, these fellows are missing all. The amount of enjoyment in spiritual life is not even imaginable. They cannot even imagine. Yablabdhava chaparam labham manate mamadikaha. Bhagavad Gita says, when somebody comes to spiritual platform in the 6th chapter, he is so much happy that he knows there is nothing greater than this. So we have not tasted real spiritual happiness, but nothing in the world attracts us anymore, because we know there is nothing else greater than this. What do you say? Suppose somebody tells you, okay, you are having some kirtan, some program in the temple. You could have come. We really enjoyed in some cricket match. You say, you know, there is nothing there. This is much greater. It's not only by our theory, it's by our perception. Pratyaksha anugamam dharma. We are convinced. We are convinced by all our reason and argument that it is not possible that anything else can give us similar happiness. By our personal experience, we're convinced. And we know, I wish, sometimes devotees say how it has been your spiritual life. I said, if I was sincere, I would have enjoyed more. That's all it. But never that I could, something else was possible. Many times, many senior devotees spend 50 years in the movement when they're questioned by public. They say, if there is any path of spiritual life which is better than this, I will take it today. But I know there is nothing is there. As paths chalked out by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has no comparison. No comparison. The supreme path. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Being the most merciful expansion of the Lord. Once I was asking a devotee, how do you differentiate between Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, except in the form? He said the compassion. Lord Krishna is a bit strict. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely compassionate. Namo Mahavadanya. Because Krishna puts a condition in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. After that, aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayami masucha. But a condition is put, Sarvadharman parityaja. You give up all varieties of concocted religion, take my shelter, I'll take charge. He put a condition. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no condition. He is available for everybody. It's actually difference within Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya is same Krishna in intense compassion becomes Lord Chaitanya. Intense compassion. That's the difference. True, Krishna is most compassionate, but in this feature, he's even more compassionate. Therefore, it is called Namo Maha. Rupa Goswami says, you are most merciful expansion of the Lord. Mahavadanyaya. That's so charitable. That's so kind. Krishna Prema Padayate. You are just distributing love of Krishna. Take. It is your property. You are giving it away. Take. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. You are Krishna itself. Namane Gaura Tushe Namo Nama. I offer my respects to this beautiful Gaura form of the Lord. So this is our question. So, but we have an opportunity and we get lost. Instead of that, understanding the situation, we get lost in the ego battles of this world. You know, isko to ego hogi. So there is something called real ego. I am a servant of Krishna. In the spiritual world, everybody is conscious of this ego, that I am a servant of Krishna. So there is total harmony in the spiritual world. There is not even one chew. Trillions and trillions of living entities are living in sweet harmony because there is no false ego at all there. Everybody has only real ego. I am a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, and everybody is very, very happy in that atmosphere. In the material world also, if all of us remain of this identity, I am a servant of Krishna, then there is total peace and happiness. Jiva Krishna Das, E Vishwas, Kalle Tara Dukha Nai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said again and again, Jiva, the soul is the servant of Krishna. Moment you accept this, you have no more any unhappiness in your life. Just imagine one simple formula. Jiva Krishna Das, E Vishwas. Accept this fact, Vishwas, that I am a servant of Krishna. Tara Dukha Nai. All your pain will go away if you can just accept one principle, that I am servant of Krishna. But then, you cannot accept this fact. Ego comes, that is called false ego comes. And because false ego is there, then fight. Therefore, Prabhupada says the two devotees have a difference. Either one is wrong or both are wrong. Both cannot be right. Suppose two devotees, no, it should be like that, no, it should be like that. Either one is wrong or both are wrong. Because there can be no disharmony in the spiritual domain at all. On a material domain, when we go down to the platform of false ego, there is only problem, there are only differences, there are only fault finding, there is only fight. But when we lift the people on a spiritual platform, this all goes away. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Inga Vihastini Shuni Chaiva Sapake Pandita Samadarshinaha. The devotee sees that actually Krishna is not differentiating. Krishna is sitting in everybody's heart and loving everybody. So how can a devotee not love everybody if he's on the spiritual platform? Across the species, he's loving everybody. Samadarshana is seeing equally across the species. Sometimes people feel he's partial to me, he's not helping me, he's angry at me, he is putting me down. That means he is not Samadarshana. But if you come to Krishna consciousness, if you rise out of Krishna consciousness, forget within the species, across the species you become Samadarshana. Even dog is there, even elephant is there, even cow is there, you're well-wisher, you love everybody. Your behavior may be different, but your love is same to all the species. It's not the dog comes to the temple to Arati for it. No, that is not the meaning of the shloka. Meaning is your love is equal to every species. So there is no kind of differentiation. You love everybody equally. But that requires up to uplift ourselves to the spiritual platform. The Prabhupada said they made United Nation. It is not United Nation, it is United Animals. And how can United Animals work? Suppose in a room you keep some dogs, some wild, different varieties of wild animals. They'll sit peacefully, Or Rasik, Tamsik, one will attack another, one will attack another. Put some snakes, some dogs, some foxes, some lions in a room, all wild animals. What do you think? Have some rhinos? Put some rhinos. Very peacefully they'll sit, smiling at each other. They'll all be on each other's life, kill each other. That's how it is. So that is how the world has become. So much ego each person is having. And envious of other, jealous of other. This all animal platform. So therefore, as this movement grows, even little whatever we have, we will have Maya testing us. Maya will test. There are two power of Krishna. One is called Avarnatmika Shakti, other is called Prakshepatmika Shakti. Avarnatmika Shakti means it does not allow us to even think about Krishna. Sometimes in cold countries or in Delhi in the winter, what is the condition? We go inside the blanket. It's so cold. So that is Avarnatmika Shakti, totally covering, dark. No, totally covered, just like most of the people are. But when you come to the spiritual life, there is one more Shakti with testers, Prakshepatmika Shakti. What is the use? There is no use to serve Krishna. You can also have material life. You can also nicely enjoy. It will give you nice proposals to test you out of devotion life. You can look at the picture of a girl, see how beautiful it is. It's testing you. No, this will not make me happy. It tests. Every moment, Prakshepatmika Shakti will test and try to drag you away from the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, it is said, Bhagavad Gita says, our intelligence, even one of the roaming senses can destroy my intelligence and make me fall down. Even one, second chapter. Even one of the roaming senses, which is not kept under control, is capable of spoiling my intelligence and make me fall down. Fall down means what? Many people think, what is fall down? Fall down, jameen mein gir gaye. No. Achhe kaar se chal rahe hain, but gir gaye. What does it mean? Fall down means all the pleasure of spiritual life will be taken away. Correct? Therefore, a devotee who is tasting Krishna consciousness does not, he tries to lead his day in such a way that this pleasure is not taken away. Like Rupa Goswami was in meditation on the Leela Smaran, on the beautiful Leelas of Radha Krishna. And unconsciously an offense happened. You all know I talked many times that past time. He became very, very disturbed, my wife. So devotee is so careful that my Rupa Goswami, it's the Leela of the Lord. He's a supreme pure devotee, one of the eternal associates of the Lord. But a lesson was taught that even unconsciously devotee doesn't do offense. But for a devotee where there is no pleasure itself, where he's got habituated to offending devotees, habituated to insulting devotees, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's digging his own grave bigger and bigger. And then what will be? It is said when you want to enter the spiritual world, even a Kanishta Adhikari offended, you have to go and take his pardon. Then Krishna will not allow entry. He will not allow entry. You say, you come to the spiritual world, door is see. This list is there, go and take pardon and then come. Not allowed to enter. The door will not open on this, tight. The devotees are Hathi Mata. Hathi Mata means just like you have a nice garden and an elephant come, everything will destroy. He'll tear up everything, stamp on everything, nothing will remain. The devotee is very, very careful. Careful. True, sometimes you have, the faults become visible. Okay, don't associate with that person. But you cannot criticize him. Don't associate. Somebody is crazy, you don't associate. That becomes discrimination. Fault finding means we start entertaining. Rather, we can pray, my Lord, he wanted to serve you, but I see some strong faults visible. I pray to you, please relieve him of these weaknesses so that he can serve you better. Correct? That is the best thing to do. But what we do something else. We entertain. You know, he is nowadays doing this. Oh, nowadays he started watching movies also. Oh, he's like that, huh? Yeah, he is now going with his friends and drinking also. And we take entertainment. Then we call one more person. You know that? What happened? And it spreads everywhere. It entertains. That's called fault finding. Not fault finding. It's why waste our time in fault finding. We have no other work. Because actually it's an entertainment, and fault finding becomes an obstacle in advance of the spiritual life. Because they're offending him, making fun of him. Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna says? Apichetu sudurachar ho bhajate mamananyabha sadhureva samantavyaha samyak babasito hisaha. 3 times Krishna said, Sadhur eva mantavya. Sadhu means even if somebody does the most abominable activity, but is constantly engaged in devotional service, sadhu eva mantavya. You take him like saintly person, eva, certainly, mantavya, take it like that. 3 times. 3 times. That means don't take it lightly. It's a very strong instruction. So sometimes devotee wobble in spiritual life. It hota hai, but we should not make fun of it. Hai na? The whole crowd, let us laugh at him. Don't do that. If it is, many times devotee come to offer devotion service, and due to their own weaknesses, they go away. Yeah, they go away. Many people come and they go away. As unfortunate, we feel sad. It's all common. Even Srila Prabhupada movement, all volunteers, no? People come and anytime they can stop devotion service and go away. So what the rest of the devotees should do? What he was doing like, no. So let us all together today chant one round. Pray for that person that he gets buddhi, he gets proper intelligence to serve Krishna, and not a buddhi to offend devotees, not a buddhi to do sense gratification. Correct? There is no end to it. You know, just like, wow, negative energy, criticizing, finding fault, making fun, speaking against. What's the purpose? What do you gain? You only lose your opportunity for devotion service. Correct? Just like, say, somebody comes to me, say, after Kachara, says, can you allow me to again do service? What will I say? Every person you have spoken against the temple, or you have to go and take apology. Apologize, I'm sorry. Every side. Hannah, how much work you are creating? I may not be able to give chance only because you made your situation so miserable. Same thing in the spiritual world when you want to enter. Krishna will say, every devotee you offended, you have to go and take apology. You're simply creating unnecessarily work for yourself. Hannah? And complicating your spiritual life more and more. It's a very, very rare chant. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. Roaming in the whole universe, very rare, so rare that I get chance for devotion service. Kono Bhagyavan. And by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of Krishna, I get a pleasure of devotion service. And then it gets lost into so many things. Okay, so we should be very careful, great opportunity giving, and we are being watched. Every moment is being watched. Be careful, not miss this opportunity. It's very rare. Kono Bhagyavan Jeev. Somebody, a rare soul, gets chance to do devotion service. Let us not fritter it away, throw it away. And our intelligence to do devotion service, Krishna gives. When the creation is done, it is said, already 9 o'clock. When a creation is done, so Krishna within the heart of Brahma gives him intelligence to develop it. Brahma doesn't know what to do when he's born. Within his heart, as Shirodaksha Vishnu, Krishna gives the intelligence. So similarly, every devotee, whatever he does, Krishna gives the intelligence. Do like this, do like that. And devotees wonderstruck how nicely Krishna is guiding him to offer devotion service. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, clarifications? Okay, we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. That was Para Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.